make sure that those people are protected from so powerful people.
Standalone legislation provides more clarity, it provides coherence, and it also stipulates what is a whistleblower. It will define a whistleblower in its entirety as far as Zimbabwe is concerned. And it's a good thing that now Zimbabwe is going through this. The National Anti-Corruption Strategy also has got an objective of protecting the reporting persons, whistleblowers.
This bill will aid prosecution in that, one, there will be quality evidence. Currently we have a problem in that there are some witnesses who have been approached, because when we give state papers to accused persons, we give them witness statements with information such as the person's residential address, telephone number, so the person can very easily be approached by a crooked accused person. But what we would want to see in the bill is a provision which makes sure that an accused person cannot just approach a witness and try to influence that witness. If they do that, there will be consequences. When that happens, then we know our prosecution will be foolproof and effective.
Our framework is underdeveloped. We might need to actually remove whistleblowers from their locations where they live and take them to other provinces or other countries. We do not have facilities for that. We do not have legislation that requires the state to set aside funding. There is no specific budgetary allocation for that, and that can only be done if the law actually, for example, sets up a fund and so on. So those are some of the problems that are wrong, the gaps. And also, we also do not have a facility to give material or financial incentives for whistleblowers. There's a similar facility in the Zimbabwe Revenue Authority legislation that allows tax whistleblowing and whistleblowers to obtain some reward if their whistleblowing results in detection of tax evasion. But from the corruption end, we do not have something like that, and it would be very useful. It could speed up and make whistleblowing even more attractive, because whistleblowers sometimes tend to lose.
And as ZCTU, the provisions that we want to see is put in incentives first for those who will be able to volunteer with the information. Beside the incentives, make sure that those people are protected from so powerful people. Remember that people who are getting involved in this vice are sometimes people who are very rich, people who have got the money, people who have got the power, and we want workers to be protected.
Pertaining to what should be contained, some persons have said maybe there's need to reward whistleblowers. Maybe they may be meriting that, but the problem is once people start knowing that there is money to be made, there's a real possibility that some people will come and make false tip-offs. Of course, at the end of the trial, the person falsely accused will be acquitted, but the trauma of going through a trial is not worth it. So the issue of paying for evidence per se, I don't think would be a good thing. But what I think needs to be emphasized is that there will be protection against dismissal from work, for instance, or threats of physical abuse from the accused person or from the person who has been whistled against. Issue of, yes, people might need a bit of financial incentives if that can be done, but that should not be the overriding principle. The overriding principle must be that the person who is a whistleblower is protected against any form of abuse by the accused person.
As much as we are talking of a comprehensive legislation, we feel that there should be coordination, and it is of paramount importance that the whistleblower protection legislation will also work hand in glove with the institutional frameworks that are there to protect the reporting persons. As much as this one is going to be a comprehensive, or we lobby for a comprehensive whistleblower protection, we should not also disregard the ones that are sector specific, the whistleblower protections that are sector specific, and they should be guided by this national one.
For the bill to be appealing for women to report corruption, issues should be very clear. Issues should not be left to be vague. I'm talking about clear definitions of witness protection or a whistleblower in terms of who qualifies to fall within the protection. Also, it should be coming up with clear frameworks in terms of funding frameworks, because you don't want a situation whereby someone is a witness or is a whistleblower, but they end up having to incur expenses for simply having reported an issue that has arisen. So it should be very clear in terms of circumstances under which someone is protected, what is protected, who is protected, and to what extent are they protected.
The whistleblower protection that we are currently lobbying for, the whistleblower protection legislation, we feel that it should also be in correspondence or working hand in glove with the institutional frameworks, which will better help the implementation of the legislation thereof.
What needs to be contained in terms of the whistleblower protection is, as it is currently, it might not appear as if there's a lot of leeway given to the complainant, but what needs to be included in the bill is priority must be given to the witness himself or herself. If the witness himself or herself feels that they need protection, that must be the overriding consideration. It should not be left to a third party to determine whether that person needs protection or not. If the witness feels that he or she needs protection, that witness must be afforded protection. When that happens, then you know for a fact more people are going to come forward and be witnesses.